Hi, I'm Mansi Shah, and I am the author of Saving Face, a rags to riches story about an orphan from Singapore who is now on the brink of life-changing success. Ami's skincare empire, Amala, is set for acquisition by a Fortune 500 company, and she has just been nominated for the Global Changemakers Award, the most revered entrepreneurial honor. There's just one problem. She's a complete and utter fraud. 20 years ago in Singapore, abandoned orphan Monica Joseph made a decision to steal her wealthy classmate's identity and move halfway around the world to build her life on someone else's name. For 20 years, she's managed to hide in plain sight until an ambitious fledgling journalist sets out to write the inaugural full-length profile on her. With her carefully constructed persona and life's work now in jeopardy, Monica is left with no other choice. She must return to the scene of the crime and the one place she vowed never to revisit, home. I'm going to read you a little excerpt from it so you can get a glimpse into Ami's world. Here's a scene from chapter 1 where Divya, her second in command, has just shared the news about the Global Changemakers Award Ami has been nominated for. They can recognize Amala, but there's no need to make it about me, Ami said. Divya looked exasperated. Why aren't you more excited about this? I never thought we'd see someone like us in the running for something like this. You'd be the first woman and Indian to win the Global Changemakers Award. Think of what it would do for girls who look like us. Divya was right that the nomination was groundbreaking, but Ami feared it would be earth-shattering for her. An award at this scale also meant media attention that she could not control. It meant people would start digging into her past. She had worked too hard to get to where she was and was on the brink of saving Amala. If people learned the truth, she would be stripped of everything, and she could not let that happen. I don't know if this is the kind of attention that we want. We have so much to worry about already with the merger. This could be exactly what we need. If you win, it could force Propel to keep you on. The timing couldn't be more perfect to have all eyes on you. Ami felt like her airways were constricting and her breathing grew shallow and ragged. I don't want all eyes on me. I know you don't like the spotlight, Divya said gently. Ami glanced at their supporters, enjoying the lavish party hosted by Amala. It was a sea of mostly melanin-rich faces, people who were so loyal to what she had built because every day they were able to use products that they knew were designed for them. People that she wanted to continue serving long into the future because she knew what it felt like to be unseen. She couldn't guarantee Walter Johnson would do that. If anything, she could guarantee that he wouldn't. Ami clasped her hands tightly at her waist. This isn't the time for us to shift focus. We are so close to a merger and launching the relief line. Exactly, Divya's eyes shone. The winner will be announced 2 weeks before we are scheduled to close with Propel. We can use the media attention to our advantage. How would Walter Johnson publicly explain why he is ousting a very capable CEO who is up for one of the most coveted awards of the year, let alone booting you after you win it? Ami tensed at the mention of press. She'd done everything she could to avoid the spotlight thus far, even though everyone around her wanted to know her story. But she'd strategically made the mystery around her part of the allure of the brand. She only did written interviews so she could carefully tailor her answers and ensure her story was always consistent. But she didn't do in-person interviews, ever. The upbeat music blaring from the speakers became deafening. Ami started to feel an all too familiar itch creeping up her neck and couldn't stop her hand from reaching to touch the area.